Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the weekly Cars 3 review on my channel. Today, we'll be reviewing Natalie Certain. So I actually have a lot to talk about in this video regarding all of the Cars 3 diecasts in general, but first, let's talk about the polls. So of course, Natalie won last week's poll. She received 812 votes, which was 67% of the people who voted. So thank you very much for voting. And if you want, you can vote on today's poll for the next Cars 3 review that I do. The options are Brick Yardley, aka Vitally number 24, Paunchy Wipeout, Bumper Save number 90, and yes, these guys have been given names, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. Next up, we have Rev Meeker, Tank Coat number 36. And finally, only 4 options because these are the only 4 I have left. Tommy Highbanks, 4-wheel drive number 54. So there are the options for my next Cars 3 diecast review. And now the names have been revealed because they've actually been found in stores in the USA. Stores like Kroger's or Fry's, so essentially small grocery stores, and they're not all over the United States. They're in certain pockets, like Fry's is in Arizona, for example. Kroger is in my state, Illinois, for example, and a bunch of other states as well. So if you want to check there, maybe you can find some Cars 3 cars. A lot of eBay sellers have been putting them up, even though they really shouldn't. But of course, the Kroger managers shouldn't be putting them out on shelves in the first place, so I guess they're really the ones to blame. But whatever, if you go to one of those stores or a related store to that branch, I wish you luck, and if you find them, congratulations. I might try to check a local Kroger store, but it's really no big deal. I already have a bunch of the Cars 3 diecast, and plus, by May 1st, they will be out everywhere. Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, and even internationally as well. I know that outside of the United States, you probably don't have access to Kroger or Fry's, and so I'm sorry, but there's eBay there, even though I know that I saw a Jackson Storm single go for around $230. That is absolutely insane. I really do not recommend buying him right now, or at least spending that much on him, because you will be able to buy him for $4, probably even less than that on May 1st. So I guess someone just really wanted Jackson Storm, and yeah, I'm not even kidding. There is an auction on eBay. It might have ended by now, but it went for way over $200, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But whatever, we're going to get into today's review here of Natalie Certain. I really like this car, and there's actually quite a bit to talk about because we do know quite a bit about her. So, she will be voiced by Kerry Washington, who's the star of the TV show Scandal, and so that's cool. I think she's a good choice. And according to that article released several weeks ago, I believe, I did a video on it. The link for that will be in the description below. It also talks about Miss Fritter and Sterling, but in specifics to her, she is like an RSN statistician. So she knows all the ins and outs about RSN racing, or really just racing in general. She's really smart, as they call her, like a super smarty pants. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, she's going to actually have some sort of relationship. I don't know if it will be romantic, with Chick Hicks. And this leads me into her releases. So she will be released in a 2-pack here with Chick Hicks. There are even ones on eBay right now going for around $30 or so. Not actually a terrible price, but definitely inflated. And I did review Chick Hicks about a month or so ago, so if you'd like to see that video, you can check out the description below. There will be a link to it. Now, Natalie will also be available in a single packaging, but Chick Hicks will not. At least not in this first wave that's showing up at Kroger stores and Fry's stores, and then ultimately eBay. So I personally recommend buying the 2-pack so you can just get both and be done with them. Otherwise, you'll probably buy the single of Natalie, and then you'll be waiting for Mattel to release the single of Chick Hicks. So I definitely recommend buying this 2-pack. I always go with multi-packs. They always turn out better because then you can kind of single out the singles, and you don't have to buy those. So that's all for her appearance and release. I did show a couple pictures of her animated, but we don't know where exactly she will appear in the movie because she hasn't appeared in any trailers or like other concept art thingamabob things. So yeah, let's get on with the review now. So she's a pretty basic red car. Now in the pictures we've seen of her, she looks a lot darker, which is a little disappointing because she is very bright on the diecast, but I can overlook that. I think that she just should be a little bit darker like we've seen in those pictures. She has a nice professional smile on there. I like the rims. Very, very cool. Painted door handles. On the back here, KO1 and then dash 31W. Now that looks like a typical Michigan license plate. I just held it up to me. It does look like that. I talked with my friend about that because it's very hard to see, but most likely is Michigan, although we don't really know. It makes sense because, Michigan, Detroit, kind of the center for automobiles, because that's where it all started here in America, if you guys don't know. Those are some interesting exhaust pipes. They're like triangles. Pretty cool. Like the taillights as well. Here's the other side, and here's the base if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So a super basic car, and I just wanted to mention because the chips on Natalie here, you can see there's like a little chip right there. There's a little chip right there. They reminded me that I got this from Snapdragon Toys, of course, the seller that got caught selling Cars 3 stuff. And so yeah, you guys can check out the description for a full story on that, or you can check out some previous Cars 3 reviews where I really go in depth. I've kind of stopped talking about it because I'm sure if you've been with me for at least a couple of weeks, you know what happened to Snapdragon, how she or he got caught and now doesn't sell any more Cars 3 stuff. But it's kind of ironic because there are like now 10 more sellers selling Cars 3 stuff before May 1st. So I don't even know. Whatever. Let's just move on. I guess we're all living in this world where the May 1st date's kind of invisible, but whatever. I want to compare her to some cars now. There are actually some cars very similar to her, but she is her own unique model, which is super cool. And that pretty much goes for all the movies. When there's a new movie, they reset all the castings, and there aren't many carryovers, and I like that, so it doesn't get old. I mean, it shouldn't get old. It's a brand new movie, so I'm glad that Mattel does that. But I feel like Manny Rodriguez here Rodriguez is probably the most similar to her. She does look like a Tesla, some sort of Tesla model. I've heard people speculating on her model, but we don't really know for sure. Mattel or Disney or Pixar will probably give her a fictional model type. That's what they do for all the main characters for the most part. But Manny here is a Ford Mondeo. They give realistic models to the lesser characters that are just background characters. We've seen like Mustangs in the back, Porsches. Well, Sally's the main character. She's like an exception. Same thing with Doc and like all the other Radiator Springs townies. So I'm sorry. That was kind of a inaccurate statement, but whatever. I feel like Manny is kind of similar to her. He is quite a bit bigger though. Another similar car could be Ferrari. F430, Michael Schumacher Ferrari. Always get his name a little bit confused. They're both red, pretty much the same size, but of course different in their own unique ways. Can't believe that Cars 3 stuff is already being found. That is just insane. I'm going to tell you guys a story while I'm just going through a bunch of other cars that are rather similar to her. Here's Fabrizio. So the story is that when Cars 2 came out, which was in 2011, I believe, yeah, it was 2011, of course. And I always usually go to New Orleans, Louisiana for like Easter, my spring break. And that is this upcoming week. I'm actually going on vacation tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow, of course, for New Orleans, but it's not Easter because my spring break is not over Easter this year. But oh well. And so in New Orleans, there are a couple toy stores. They're the same like toy store, but two separate locations. And I went there in 2011, and this was like a month or so before the release of all the Cars 2, I was about to say 3, all the Cars 2 diecast, and I actually found them early. It was amazing. I'm going there this week, so wish me luck, guys. I might be able to find some Cars 3 cars there, which would be insane, but I kind of doubt it. You can't really have that much luck twice, but can have some hope. Here's Corey Turbowitz, by the way. Rather similar. Both reporters for RSN, which is another similarity, non-physical. We also have Holly Shiftwell, the main spy, female spy from Cars 2. made his girlfriend. That probably won't appear in Cars 3. I kind of doubt it. Would be cool to see a cameo, by the way. I'd love to see some cameos in Cars 3, like Francesca Bernoulli, which actually will be a topic for my Q&A tomorrow. That'll be sweet. Here's Sally, the Porsche. Kind of similar as well. You do have differences, as you always do. And let's compare her to Cruz Ramirez. A lot of comparisons in this video, but they're short. I just want to, kind of show you guys the scale and everything because she is actually quite small. Not as big as you would expect her to typically be. And let's compare her to Jackson Storm, even though they're super different, but both new Cars 3 characters. Awesome stuff, guys. Well, that pretty much does it for my review here of Natalie Certain. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and thank you very much for watching. It was kind of, I don't know, I feel like this review hasn't been as, action-packed. I feel like it's because Natalie is just so basic herself. She's just like that red car that you really could just see driving down the road. But regardless of that, I hope you guys still enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the upcoming videos while I'm on vacation. I'll try to reply to some comments, but of course I'll be on my phone, which makes it harder to reply, so I'll do my best, and hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend and week, or maybe spring break. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye now.